Welcome to Give Me 5 Minutes, WTM Africa's on-site podcast where we capture real life conversations and the pulse of the show floor with dynamic conversations. I'm your host, Andela Mlandu, broadcasting from our very own sound garden here at the CTICC. Let's dive in. I'm joined by Adrian Lang, the founder of Tourism That Cares. Adrian, thank you for joining us today.
Lovely to be with you, thank you.
You specialize in neurodiverse tourism. That is very niche, and I just said to you, offline that it was something that I had never heard of before. Do you mind just telling us a little bit about it? How did you venture into it, and why
gladly.
you're in it?
So generally, the word autism means a lot. It's April, it's Autism Month, and I think within the neurodiverse kind of greater description, we have autism, and that's the best way to start off to describe something of a person who is seeing the world differently, his or her world is mentally wired differently, and we have a daughter on the autism spectrum, and a neurodiverse person needs certain reference points, certain routines, etc. And we're opening up that market in Africa because no one's catering for it. In other nations in the world, there is a better understanding. And we were asked last year to come here to explain and to set out what is this all about. And it's really just to enable people in the tourism world to just nuance their services towards people who sometimes struggle with certain sensory overloads and challenges in their capacities. And that's the best way to kind of encapsulate neurodiversity.
And what type of work does Tourism That Cares, DMC, do?
So we've been in the 4- and 5-star market for 20 years. We're celebrating 20 years next year. And we've worked with neurotypical people for many of those years, and we sell safaris and really just full service journeys between here and Kenya, 10 nations in Africa and all the Indian Ocean islands. So that was our founding process, and we've got our own non-profit. We've always believed in the pay it forward, sustainable form of tourism, hence the name Tourism That Cares. And neurodiversity's just our new baby in that kind of older company.
What practical adjustments do you think should be made in the tourism industry for neurodivergent travelers?
It's a great question, and we are developing the full experience cycle from when you land in the country all the way through to your airport transfers, your hotel check-in procedures, your safaris, your airport transition experiences, and everything in there is what we would call the cotton wool experience. Why I use that word is we've got to be very considerate that most of the neurodivergent people that move into an airport will already be overwhelmed. If you can imagine, just before Christmas shopping at Canal Walk and the madness of a shopping centre.
Very overwhelming.
And it's very overwhelming. We're trying to address each of those kind of contact points where we can fast track them through a separate line at the airport, where we can check them in a quiet boardroom or in a quiet environment at their hotel, where our tour guides will take time to listen, not only to provide information, because they really sometimes need to process information before you go on to the next description of what you're seeing at Cape Point or things like that. So that's really what the tourism industry is going to be receiving and is already receiving from us, is training in this, so that you're sensitized to it.
And there's, I guess, an importance and a responsibility that we carry as a travel sector to be more inclusive, even with neurodivergent travelers. I mean, please tell us about some initiatives or projects that you guys have instilled within your organization.
Absolutely. So first of all, we're a neurodiverse employer. So our trainer, she is on the autism spectrum, or she is neurodiverse herself. She trained as a safari guide, but she could never cope in those environments because of certain of her limitations. But she's a great trainer. And she's doing exactly, and we want to model exactly that. We want to employ. And then she's going to lodges. We've got a few safari lodges, which we'll give a shout out to later on in our panel interview, where basically we're taking the lodges' entire contact staff, so waiters and rangers.
That's
and
beautiful.
All of that. And we are using her to train them because she's the best person. She's the reference point because she knows what she's experiencing in the moment and can give good advice on that. So, I think that's really, as a company, I suppose we're breaking ground, we're pioneering that. But it's a very humbling journey because lodges, especially safari lodges, are great environments. They're more quiet than city hotels. But when you get into city hotels, they've got a lot of challenges that are not easily overcome.
Noise,
Too busy, yeah.
lighting, a lot
100%.
of overstimulation.
100%. So boutique hotels work better, or wine country hotels, or country environments, smaller cities, smaller, up the garden route environments would work. Yeah, so we've got some challenges, but we're trying to model it. We're trying to set the tone, right? Yeah.
And that you're really leading the way with that, and what a great example. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How can properties or hotels, as we're speaking about, move beyond just awareness, but to be more responsive when they design their hotels and spaces to cater to neurodivergent travelers?
I think the best is, one of the things we've offered through learning is we offer online training and consultation just to start the process. There's foundational elements where we don't have to do structural changes. It's more service changes.
Okay.
So where do we move the person when they get into main reception? What is our tour guide doing at the airport, etc. So I think the answer is really, we want to first give them the foundations. We'll do the consultation for free, and then the online training that follows is an annual renewal, because we've got an MOU with Autism South Africa, and essentially every one of these training costs we're donating back into them. And really, once we understand the property, we can give the right advice. And it doesn't involve a lot of structural change. It really doesn't. One assumes it does because you think you've got to build extra, quieter, better. No, you can just work with what you've got, and we'll advise on that.
And that's why conferences like this are so important. The fact that stakeholders can come and collaborate.
100%.
So thank you so much, Adrian. And I really hope that you enjoy WTM Africa.
Absolutely.
And thank you so much for sharing more about your business and for educating us on, neurodivergent tourism. It's very important.
It's been a privilege. Thank you.
That was Adrian Lang, the founder of Tourism That Cares DMC, joining us here in the Sound Garden at WTM Africa.
Some places need to be experienced. Others need to be felt. At Orange Orbit Productions, we create cinematic lodge and tourism content that captures the essence of your destination, from sweeping landscapes to intimate details and authentic moments. Through both video and photography, we don't just show your location, we tell its story. Orange Orbit Productions. Inspire the journey before it begins.